Friends, in the previous session, we talked about how the peddler, that is the man who was selling the rat trap, how he steals the money, that is the 10 kroner of the crofter, and then he goes into the forest to save himself. He opts to walk through the forest, and there he gets lost in the forest, and he thinks that now it was the end of his life. But then he hears the thumping sound of the hammer and he moves towards that direction, and there he gets the shelter. But at that time, the owner of that Ramscho iron mill, he just mistakes this person as an friend of the soldier army, and then that is Niels Olof, and he invites him to his house. But this person, this peddler, he refuses to go, and then he, that is the owner of the iron mill, he talks about his family, that his wife had already died and two of his sons had gone abroad, and now he was living with his oldest daughter, that is Edla. But still the paddler refuses to go with him, and so the iron master, he thinks to give it up, and then he moves back to his house, and then she sends her daughter Edla to bring this man. Now we'll continue with the next part of this lesson, the remaining story. Now this girl, that is Edla, she entered followed by a valet carrying on his arm a big fur coat. She was not at all pretty but seemed modest and quite shy. So she entered the Fernance, this place, with a valet. Valet is a personal attendant. And this girl, she was not at all pretty but she was modest and shy. In the forge, everything was just as it had been earlier in the evening. The master blacksmith and his apprentice still they were sat on their bench, and iron and the charcoal still glowed in the furnace. The stranger had stretched himself out on the floor and lay with a piece of big iron under his hat, and his hat pulled down over his eyes. As soon as the young girl caught sight of him, she went up and lifted his hat. The man was evidently used to sleeping with one eye open. He jumped up abruptly and seemed to be quite frightened. So this girl, she enters there and she sees that man lying on the floor, and she lifts the hat of that man, that is the peddler. The man, when he was having the habit of keeping his one eye open while sleeping. So when he sees this girl in front of him, he just gets frightened and he gets up. "My name is Edla Wilmanson," said the young girl. "My father came home and said that you wanted to sleep here in the forge tonight, and then I asked permission to come and bring you home to us. I am so sorry, Captain, that you are having such a hard time." So this girl, she tells the peddler, because she father told that the person whom he met was a captain. So she tells that she had come there to take him to her house. She looked at him compassionately with her heavy eyes, and she noticed that the man was afraid. Either he had stolen something or else he has escaped from jail. She thought and added quickly, "You may be sure, Captain, that you will be allowed to leave just as freely as you came. Only please stay with us over Christmas Eve." So she requests that man that you please stay with us, to stay with them only for the Christmas Eve. She said this in such a friendly manner that the rat trap peddler must have felt confidence in her. "It would never have occurred to me that you would bother me with yourself, miss," he said. "I will come at once." And then he gets ready to go with that girl, that is Edla. He accepted the fur coat which the valet handed him with a deep bow, threw it over his rags, and followed the young lady out to the carriage without granting the astonished blacksmith so much as a glance. So he accepted, means he took the fur coat. So the peddler, he accepted the fur coat which was given to him by that personal attendant of Edla, and then he moves out to the carriage with the lady. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had evil forebodings. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? He thought. Now I am sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. The next day was Christmas Eve, and when the ironmaster came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade, whom he had run across so unexpectedly. Now, the next day it was Christmas Eve, and the ironmaster he was happy that he would be spending time with his old friend. First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones, he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. And then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps. So the ironmaster he told to his daughter Edla that they needed to feed this man with well and provide him with better business rather than selling the rat traps. It is clear that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that, said the daughter. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. So Egla said that she was doubtful about the paddler as he didn't display the slightest sign of being educated. You must have patience, my little girl, said the father. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see something different. Last night he was naturally embarrassed. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. So the ironmaster, he tells to his daughter that after he takes a bath and dresses up, will just come to know that who he is. Just as he said, this door opened and the stranger entered. Yes, now he was truly clean and well dressed. The valet had bathed him, cut his hair and shaved him. Moreover, he was dressed in a good-looking suit of clothes which belonged to the ironmaster. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and whole shoes. Now he had dressed himself, he had taken a bath, he had also cut his hair and shaved him. So now he was totally a changed person. But although his guest was now so well groomed, the ironmaster did not seem pleased. He looked at him with a puckered brow, and it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. But that now when he stood there in a broad daylight, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. That means the ironmaster now realized, he came to know that he had misunderstood, that he was his old soldier friend. This man was just yesterday when he went there in the mill, he had seen him through the, he had just seen the reflection from the furnace, and that is why he had mistaken himself, this paddler, to be Nils Olof. But now he just came to know that he was not that person whom he just thought of. What does this mean? He thundered. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. It is not my fault, sir, he said. I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader, and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. But no harm has been done. At worst, I can put on my rags again and go away. Still, the paddler, he didn't try to pretend. He just told that he begged and he also requested him to stay there in the forge. But these people had forced him to come over here. And now again he can just put up his rags, that means his old clothes, and move from that place. Well, said the ironmaster, hesitating a little, it was not quite honest either. You must admit that, and I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. Now when the ironmaster told that he should meet the sheriff and just find out really who he is and what wrong things he had done. So at that time, now I am going to tell you, Mr. Ironmaster, how things are, he said. This whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese, rings and bits of pork, set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Ironmaster, must remember that a big day may come when you yourself and may want to get a big piece of fork, and then you will get caught in the trap. So when the ironmaster said the peddler that he had not been honest and he would take him to the sheriff, the peddler, he got agitated, he got angry, and he said that the world was like a big rat trap. And someday the ironmaster also would be tempted to touch the bait, that is the attraction, and he would also get trapped. And at that time the ironmaster started laughing. The ironmaster began to laugh. That was not so badly, said my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve. But now get out of here as fast as you can. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go. And with that she went and closed the door. What in the world are you doing? Said the father. The daughter stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. That morning she had felt so happy when she thought how homelike and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. She could not get away from the idea all at once, and that was why she had interceded for the vagabond. So when that man was moving from that place, the daughter of Ironmaster, that is Edla, she closed the door because she wanted that man to stay over there to celebrate the Christmas Eve, because she had already thought of preparing something for him because he was too hungry. I am thinking of this stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. Wherever he turns, he is chased away. Always he is afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us here, just one in the whole year. The ironmaster mumbled something in his beard. He could not bring himself to oppose her. So this girl Edla, she told that she wants this man to be here for the Christmas Eve and enjoy a day of peace, because all the time he's roaming here and there and he's being chased. He's afraid of being arrested or being cross-examined, means asked several questions by the people. So she wants this man, this peddler, to remain here in her house once, that is only for a day. And the ironmaster could not refuse. It was all a mistake, of course, she continued. But anyway, I don't think we ought to chase away a human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. You do preach worse than a parson, said the ironmaster. I only hope you won't have to regret this. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given in. Now she thought that, means she came to know that his father, the ironmaster, had now stopped speaking anything against this man. So she takes this stranger, this peddler, to the table and makes him sit over there. The man with the red trap said not a word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. Time after time he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. Why had she done it? What would the crazy idea be? After that, Christmas Eve at Ramstock passed just as it always had. The stranger did not cause any trouble because he did nothing but sleep. The whole forenoon he lay on the sofa in one of the guest rooms and slept at one stretch. At noon they woke him up so that he could have his share of the good Christmas fare. But after that he slept again. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly and safely as here at Ramstock. In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him. But after that he disappeared again. 2 hours later he was aroused once more. He then had to go down into the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. Now you can just see that this man, he was forced by Edla to remain there in her house. And this man, that is the stranger, he was surprised that why this girl, many questions had arisen in her mind that why this girl had done this, why she had uh, asked her to remain over here. And after that, the Christmas Eve at Ramsto passed just as it was always had. The stranger did not cause any trouble. This man did not cause any trouble to these people. He just slept very soundly over there because for so many years he didn't get this quiet and safe over here. And in the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, again he again woke up and he stood there in front of the candlelight, but he thought as if though the candlelight also was hurting him. And 2 hours later, again he woke up. He then had to go down into the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. Again he went into the dining room to take the Christmas fish and the porridge. As soon as they got up from the table, he went around to each one present and said thank you and good night. But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention that the suit which he wore was to be a Christmas present. He did not have to return it, and if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace and be sure, then no evil would befall him. He would be welcomed back again. The man with the red traps did not answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement. Now the peddler, he was allowed to stay on the Christmas, but the only thing he did was he slept there. And once or twice he was told to get up to have the food. The headmaster and Edla gifted him the suit that he was wearing as a Christmas present. Edla also told him that he was welcome to spend even the next Christmas with them. And at this peddler, he kept staring at her in surprise. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter got up in a good season to go to the early Christmas service. Their guest was still asleep and they did not disturb him. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter, they went to the church for Christmas service, leaving this peddler at home. When at about 10 o'clock they drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. At church she had learned that one of the old crofters of the ironworks had been robbed by a man who went around selling traps. And when they returned home, Miss Edla was very sad, because at the church they had learned that a red trap peddler had robbed an old crofter who once worked at the Ramsto ironworks. And the ironmaster, he got angry at this. Yes, that was a fine fellow you let into the house, said her father. I only wonder how many silver spoons are left in the cupboard by this time. So now this man, he came to know that this person, he was also a thief and he had already stolen some 10 kroners of that crofter. So when he entered the house, he asked his daughter that he is having some questions that whether he had left any silver spoons or that also he had stolen from the cupboard. The wagon had hardly stopped at the front steps when the ironmaster asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. He added that he heard at church that the man was a thief. The valet answered that the fellow had gone and that he had not taken anything with him at all. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package which Miss Wilmanson was to be kind enough to accept as a Christmas present. So when the ironmaster asked the valet whether that man was there or he had gone because he was a thief, so the valet, that is a personal attendant, he answered that that peddler, that stranger, he had gone, but he had not taken anything with him, and on contrary, on top of that, he had left one of the package which was to be given to Edla as a Christmas present. The young girl opened the package, which was so badly done up that the contents came into view at once. She gave a little cry of joy. She found a small red trap and in it lay 3 wrinkled 10 kroner notes. But that was not all. In the red trap lay also a letter written in large jagged characters. Honored and noble Miss, since you have been so nice to me all day long, as if I want to be nice to you in return, as if I was a real captain, for I do not want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a thief. but you can give back the money to the old man on the roadside, who has the money pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for poor wanderers. The rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in the world's rat trap if he had not been raised to captain, because in that way he got power to clear himself. Written with friendship and high regard, kept. So the next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter, they went to the church for Christmas service, and they left the peddler at home. And when they returned home, Edla was sad, because at the church they had learned, means they came to know that the rat trap peddler, he had robbed an old crofter who once worked at their Ramso ironworks. So the ironmaster was angry with the peddler. And when they came home, the ironmaster, he asked the valet that the peddler was yet there or he had left the house. So the valet informed that the peddler, he had left the home, but he had not taken anything from the home. Instead, he had left something for Edla. So when Edla opens the package, she finds a rat trap and 3 wrinkled 10 kroner notes and a letter. The peddler had written that since Edla had treated him like a real captain, she was very kind to him, very nice to him. So he wanted the money to be returned to the crofter. He also had written that he would have not been able to escape the rat trap if he had not been raised to the status of a captain. He even signed the letter as Captain Von Stale. He had become a changed person. He was now a changed person. Earlier he was a thief, he was stealing the things, he was doing some odd jobs. But now, after Edla being very kind to her, he just thought that he also should give something in return to her kindness, and so he changes himself and also ask Edla to return that 10 kroner which he had stolen from the crofter, to return it back to the crofter. In this way, the peddler, he becomes a changed person. He totally changed himself. So here we end with our session. We'll be meeting in the next session. Till then, goodbye.